Even though this AIO is today's star of the show, but we have loads of DeepCool products right here that I just have to talk about them because you're gonna love this case. The power supply, it's a power supply, it's nothing really spectacular. It's a PN850M, and I think we had the 1000 watt version, but regardless of that. And finally, we have the FL12R, which are reversed fans, three on the bottom, three on the side. Now, what is this case? This is the CH690 digital, which, let me just remove this. As you can see right here, you have a digital screen which shows you GPU temperatures, GPU frequency, GPU power and usage. Same thing goes for the CPU and the power supply if the power supply is connected and it can detect it. So yeah, that's really cool. But this case is completely different. So when I first saw it, and I think it was Gamescom this year, I saw this tempered glass here at the back, and that was quite, let's say, impressive, right? And then I got it right here to do this build specifically dedicated for this AIO, and I'm gonna get to that part quite soon. I was like looking, okay, there's additional accessory box, and I noticed that you can remove this tempered glass if you don't like it, don't want it, want more airflow, more exhaust. You can remove it, add additional some sort of a perforated steel with these openings for the fans and for the airflow, and then you have a bracket that you place right here at the back, and you can go with 120 or 140 millimeter fan, and that's outstanding because it gives you possibilities if you want to go with some visual aspect or you want to go with pure airflow, because three on the side, three at the bottom as an intake, and then we have the exhaust at the top. I mean, it's great. The case looks brilliant. I'm really digging it. It has that something special because not only the digital screen, you have loads of connections for the I/O ports. You're having a power on button. You have two USB 3.0 USB Type C, 3.5 millimeter full pole jack, and of course a reset button. At the back, loads of space. I think around 3.5 to 4 centimeters because it supports back connect, loads of extrusions from the steel to reorganize all the cables. Here at the back you could do that. The top is connected with pegs, so you can just simply remove it, and then you have one screw holding the back side panel and the front tempered glass. It's fairly easy. It's really nice chassis. On the side you can't go with the radiator because it's limited with the steel of the power supply shroud, but then again on top, if you go with the 360 radiator like I did, it's just brilliant. It's really good. Now, the star of the show, as I stated, DeepCool LQ360. This is a digital AIO that shows only and only CPU temperatures, and that's quite alright. I do have to say, it's not all in temperatures. You do have load, you have frequency, and you have the wattage or power. It's really all there. And the best thing about it, well, the best thing is the performance, right? But one of the next best things is that you can simply remove it. The good thing is you have four pogo pins here on this side where the LCD screen is. And as you can see inside it, you have 360 pogo pins, which means that whatever orientation you choose later on, you can simply just place it here, and eventually, after a few seconds, it pops back on and starts working. So it's fairly easy to rotate it. So what I can say about this AIO, very flexible tubes. And when I say very flexible, not even the past models had the flexibility of the tubes as this, because this is really good. That means that if you have a chassis that is mini ITX or micro ATX, you can actually bend those tubes, of course, if those cases support 360 radiators. So let's break it down. We're having a 360 radiator at the top, which is made out of aluminium. We're having dimensions of the radiator 402, 120, 27 millimeters, and the whole weight is 1840 grams. Now, the socket compatibility, we're having up to LGA 1851 and AMD AM5 and AM4. Then we have the pump dimensions 89, 76, 64 with the pump speed at 3400 RPMs. The pump connector isn't PWM, it's 3-pin DC. we're having fan dimensions 120, 120, 25. The speed is from 600 to 2400 RPMs with the airflow at maximum 72.04 CFM, and the air pressure is 3.48. The noise level, the fan noise level, and this is of course at the maximum, is 38.71. Now, this does sound a lot, and I'll get to that point a bit later on. There are, of course, 4-pin PWM and 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB, hydraulic bearing, and what we have additional to that is the anti-leak tech. This means that this type of technology helps the system achieve an automated pressure balance. And I'm not going to go too much into that because I did mention it a couple of times already during the past reviews of their AAOs, but let's move forward. In the software in the background, you can control both the CH690 and the LQ360, which gives you an option for the LQ360 just to choose a couple of, for the fan, for instance, you can choose the fan directly that you want to see the RPMs. Otherwise, of course, you can choose the RPMs of the fans or the RPMs of the pump, which is quite solid and quite alright. Nothing else can be modified. For the case, you can choose either CPU, GPU, or power supply, or you can go with intervals like 3, 5, or 7 seconds, which that means that they will change. In terms of connection, the fans are daisy chainable. They have that specific cable, specific connection that daisy chains them all three at the same time, and then you have just one cable running out, which is 4-pin PWM and 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB. Now, for the connections of the pump, LCD, and the RGB lights, of course, RGB, you have 3-pin 5 volts addressable RGB header that is daisy chainable. So in this sense, what you do is basically connect the fans addressable RGB header to the pump addressable RGB header. And this means that you're using only one connector on the motherboard. Now, for the 3-pin DC, of course, you're going to connect it to the pump header, and that's all there is to it. And finally, the last cable, so this is the third cable from the pump running out, which, as you can see, you could manage it quite nicely, is the USB 2.0, the internal one that goes and is connected to your motherboard. This gives you a digital signal to the screen, and honestly, it's really straightforward. This is the way how you can control and how it picks up all the information from the software, from the BIOS, and all everything all together. Now, when we're talking about digital stuff in general from DeepCool, this I do like, this I don't like, because this digital, let's say, design is much more appealing, at least for me personally. This digital screen should be, this digital font and everything all together should be placed on literally everything. So the CH690 digital, if it had this font, first it wouldn't blink or stutter during the recordings, as you might have saw in the close-ups. But that's just because of the FPS and how I record and how the FPS of the screen is. And in that sense, it would be more like a picture or just something like a video, let's put it this way, instead of an actual digital screen. Regardless of that, this looks way more appealing, more cleaner, minimalistic, and I'm really digging it. I can't say I'm not, I'm really digging it, and that's really cool. Now, of course, it supports Asus Aorus Sync, Razer Chroma RGB, Gigabyte RGB Fusion 2.0, MSI Mystic Lights, and ASRock Polychron Sync. Regarding that, there is no problems. I did test it on MSI Mystic Lights, and as you can see, immediately when it boots up, it starts to light up. The only thing that you need to set up in the software is that if you wish the DeepCool software to run immediately on Windows Startup, and of course you're going to do that. The installation process of this AAO on AMD, of course, 12 screws at the top for the radiator. You have to remove the original retention brackets from the motherboard, so that's 4 screws and 2 retention brackets, and then you're going to place 4 standoffs on those spots that you removed. So basically, you're starting with those 4 screws. You do need to put 2 brackets, 2 retention brackets on the pump block bottom part around the IHS, and to be honest, remove the plastic cover where you have the pre-applied thermal paste, then you place those retention brackets and 4 screws, and then what I would suggest is place the plastic part back just so you don't touch the thermal paste while you do all the other stuff to prepare the AAO and being placed inside the chassis. Then, when you actually decide to place the pump on the pump block top on the CPU, you're going to remove that plastic top. You're having a pre-applied thermal paste, place it on the processor, and with 4 locking nuts, you're tying it up. Then everything else that is needed is connecting those cables, which is honestly straightforward. So I'm actually digging this locking mechanism of the pump block top first and foremost because it doesn't need any tension. It works good as it is. It has 4-point contact and it doesn't have any tension. So since I'm at that point now, because I think I already told you everything else that is to know about this AAO, we're having the CH690 with 6 FL12R intake fans. We're having AMD Ryzen 9 7900X3D with RTX 4080 Gaming X Slim. Of course, I'm going to mention the thermals of the GPU just because the case, I haven't reviewed it separately, so I want to give you a bit more information. Now, AIDA 64 Extreme Edition, we're having CPU at 87 degrees, and we're having clock speed at 4825. This is great. If you remember my past video, this is 2 degrees lower from that part and 25 megahertz higher than in the past video. The GPU is actually the same as the past video, so 68 degrees, which is quite nice average, I would say. Because let's be honest, from 66 to 73, this is how the GPU varies, and these thermals are really good. Then we'll go with Cinebench, and as you remember, we have 10 runs, and with those 10 runs, I pull out the average from the thermals, clock speed, and of course the Cinebench score. So the thermals are 81.4. This is brilliant. I think this is above average and really good performance when we're talking about this AAO. 4998 megahertz clock speed, close to 5000 megahertz, but I had one run with 4975, and literally every other benchmark was at 5000 megahertz. And finally, when we go and wrap it up with Cinebench score, we're having 26,575. So what you get here is a digital screen with impressive visual aspect. First and foremost, quite nice LED backlight in terms of this round shape. It's very minimalistic. The tubes are really flexible. You're having all the necessary information that you want, that you need right here if you need them, of course. And what can I say else about it? We're having a outstanding price. We're having great performance. These are really good performance with this CPU in general, and I'm really digging that. All in all, with this case, you can only just be even more satisfied. Now, I did mention at the beginning, or somewhere at the beginning when I was talking about specifications, the fan noise. It sounds quite high in terms of checking out the specifications, but when I benchmarked it, it didn't go higher than this. And of course, the microphone is a bit further at this point, but I can't give you the precise amount of noise with the microphone or with my decibel meter because it starts measuring everything a bit weirdly. But in general, it's silent, it does perform good, and altogether an outstanding AAO with digital screens. So what I can say is this is definitely PC Crazy Best Buy badge for the digital AAO, because I doubt that you'll be able to find a cheaper AAO with such nice visuals, minimalistic design, everything addressable RGB, and of course it performs really good. It performs really good. Altogether with the chassis, with the CH690 digital LQ360, with the FL12R and the PN850M, it's quite a nice deal. It's a quite a nice build, and this is what I'm digging. I'm not saying this because the performance or anything similar to that. The build quality on everything is great. The visual aspect is brilliant. The fans fit this chassis quite nicely, and you have 3 side tempered glass. When we're talking about the case, is just brilliant. So yeah, since I'm really digging all of this, of course, I'm going to give you all the links for the LQ360, which is the main part of this video. And if you're really looking for something that is performing really good, you can really count on this one. Then we have the CH690 digital, which is an outstanding case. You don't have any exhaust here, I mean stock when you take it out of the box, but it doesn't come with any fans in general, so you do have to buy them separately, which I wouldn't say is a problem because after all it gives you an option to actually pair up the fans with the fans on the AAO. Speaking about the fans, we have the FL12R. These are reversed blade fans, 3 at the bottom, 3 on the side, and finally PN850M, which is fully modular power supply. So the links are in the description. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, click the notification bell, and I will see you very soon in another one. Thanks for sticking by. Bye bye.